Good morning, lovely young people. I'm so glad you could join me today. Today we're going to make apple crumble, okay? It's a favourite with everybody, really easy to do. So as usual, the ingredients I've written out for you and they're on this page, and we're just going to go through the theory, which means making it together, okay? Remember, in my tutorials there's no rush for you guys, okay? Everything's taken at your pace. Cooking, baking should be a pleasure. It's not a rush. It's not a race. Okay, so it's all about getting pleasure from what you do. Okay, so first things we do, tie our hair back if we've got long hair, wash our hands, and then we pop the oven on. For this, I have the oven on at 180 degrees for electric or gas mark 4. Okay, so when you've done that, come back to me and we'll start cooking. Hi, right, so you've done that then, that's brilliant. So what I've done is I've pre-weighed out my ingredients because there's nothing worse than watching me weigh stuff out. Seriously, big yawn. Okay, so let's get going. First of all, we prepare our apples. Now I've got Bramley cooking apples. You can use eating apples, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and if you've got some in your fruit bowl, then that's brilliant, use those up. Don't go out specifically to buy cooking apples, but I've bought these today. Okay, so I've got a really big one and a small one because cooking apples come in really weird sizes, but there's nothing wrong with that, that's how they grow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a peeler and I'm going to peel my apples. Okay, not going to rush, just going to take my time peeling my apples. If you need an adult's help, that's absolutely fine, nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, so when you've peeled your apples, what you're going to do with adults' help is you're going to cut them in half and you're going to what we call core them. Okay, so we take that hard bit out the middle. Okay, but when I'm ready to do that, I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so get your apples peeled and put me on pause and I'll see you in a minute. Hi, you're back. So you've peeled your apples, well done. Nothing wrong with using a tin of pie filling either. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. Absolutely brilliant. You can make any flavour crumble you want. You can make cherry, you can make fruits of the forest, but today we're just doing plain apple. Okay, so you've got your fresh apples, you've cut them in half with a sharp knife with the supervision of an adult, or your adult can do this for you. Okay, so it should look like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pop the apple down on its flat side. Okay, and we're going to make a bridge with our hands. And with our sharp knife, we're going to put the knife between our bridge and we're going to cut that way. So make a bridge, keep your apple firm, put your knife on the apple between the bridge, under the bridge, and we cut that way. That way it keeps our fingers away from the knife. Right, okay, so the next thing to do is to core, what we call core the apples, which means we take the core, this hard bit out the middle, which nobody wants, do we? So very carefully, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the apple very firmly by the edges, pop it down on the chopping board and just cut away. There we go, so you've got an apple but with no hard bit, and there's your core. Doesn't matter if you cut a little bit of apple away with it, that's absolutely fine. Okay, it's better apple being cut away than your fingers. Okay, so again, we're putting the apple like that and we're cutting straight down and our core's there. If you've got a corer at home, feel free to use that. If mum's got a corer, dad's got a corer, or granny's got a corer, use that. That's a little circular device that takes the cores out before we start. I don't have one. I don't think I've ever had one, but fantastic if you do. Right, so again, apple down, knife, straight down, take that core out. Absolutely fine, safe fingers. Okay, so when you've done that to your apples, okay, so I'm going to put my core bits that I don't want to one side. What we're going to do is we're going to slice our apples, okay, because we don't want big chunks, do we, in our apple pie. So again, keep your fingers well out the way, hold it at the side, and we start at that end, moving forward. I'm just doing it really slow so you can see. When you get to this bit, and the knife's a little bit too close for comfort for your fingers, we're just going to chop that way. It's all about keeping your fingers well away from the knife. Okay? So again, hold the apple, hold the knife nice and firmly, and we cut. Mine's a bit slippy, like that. Nice thin slices. When it's getting to the end and I think, oh, actually I don't want to do another slice, I'm a bit nervous, pop it on the side and we make chunks. Okay, absolutely fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the apples that I've sliced in a bowl, and they're going to cook in the microwave. So I'm going to soften my apples in the microwave before I pop them under my crumble. Okay, so get your apples sliced, pop them in a bowl, and I'll see you in a minute. Hi, welcome back. So your apples are all ready. Brilliant. I've cooked mine in the microwave for, I think it was about 2.5 minutes, and they're just nice and soft. So now I'm ready to make the crumble. Okay, and this couldn't be simpler. Okay, so we've got our flour in the bowl. Now then, to that we add a pinch of salt. Now, to measure a pinch in baking, what we do is we cup our hand. We take the salt, we very, very gently put it in the centre of our hand. See that little well in the centre of your hand? That's what we call a pinch, okay? So we tip that into the flour. So there we've got our salt and our flour in the bowl, okay? Remember, just pop me on pause while you do it and then come back to me, okay? There's no rush. So then we take our fat. I've got lard and I've used margarine today. I haven't used butter, I've used margarine. Absolutely fine. Okay, so what I do is I use a knife, doesn't have to be a sharp one, you can just use a normal dessert knife, and I cut in my fat into my flour to start off with. I always think this makes rubbing in an awful lot easier. It coats your lard and your margarine or butter with flour and just gives you that little bit of a clean head start. Okay, so we're ready. Pop that in there. Nice clean hands, nice washed, clean and dry. Okay, so we pop our hands in and we just, with our fingertips, we just rub in. Okay, just rub it in nice and gently until it resembles fine breadcrumbs, okay? And this is what's going to make the basis of your crumble. Okay, so pop me on pause, have a go, enjoy the experience, enjoy the feel of that cooled flour, enjoy the feel of rubbing it in. Just have a really good time, guys. Pop me on pause, do your crumble, and I'll see you later. So we've rubbed our fat into our flour and we've got what looks like breadcrumbs. Okay, so to this I'm going to add this is where my spoons come in handy, no scales required, 2 big spoonfuls of sugar. I just use granulated sugar. There's no need for caster sugar if you don't have it. Granulated sugar's fine, okay? And we're going to stir that in. You don't want too much sugar, otherwise when your crumble bakes, it will be just like toffee and it'll be all sticky and horrible. You just want a little bit of sugar in there, just to sweeten it off a bit. I always think if you take a spoonful and you can just see the sugar just glistening in there, not too much, but you can just about see it, then you're on point for your crumble. Okay. Now then, to my crumble, I'm going to add some porridge oats, just for that little bit of a different texture. You don't have to, that's absolutely fine. You can also add, if you've got some cornflakes, crush them up, add some of those. Just make it different, make it yours, okay? But I've got some porridge oats that I'm just going to pop in. There's 2 spoonfuls there, same as my sugar. And I'm just going to stir those through. As I say, I don't like an awful lot in, but I've just popped some in just to give it that little bit more firmer texture. So pop me on pause while you do that. Finish off your crumble and I'll see you when you get back. Hi, you're back. Lovely to see you. Right, so at this stage you've got your crumble in one bowl and your apples softened in another. Now I've done mine in the microwave on high. It's an 800 watt microwave for 3.5 minutes. You don't want them so they're a mush, but you do want them so they're just starting to soften, just to help the process along for when we pop them in the oven. Okay, so I've got my tin, okay, my crumble tin. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pop my apples in. Now these might be quite hot if they're still out of the microwave. You can leave them for a few minutes, no problem with that. Let them cool off a bit if you want to do it yourself, or you can get your adult to help you if it's still a little bit warm. There we go, lovely, absolutely lovely job. Okay, so to this, because mine are cooking apples and cooking apples are very sour, if you're using eating apples you might not need to do this step. Entirely up to you. Because I'm using Bramleys, which are a cooking apple and renowned for knowing a bit sour or a bit tart, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on. Just 1.5 dessert spoons. Okay, that's that done. So I'm ready. And I'm ready to pop on my crumble mix. Okay, so here's my crumble mix you've done earlier. I've got a few oats through it. I don't know what you've got going through yours. You might have cornflakes, you might have oats, you might not have anything, you might just have good old crumble mix. Okay, we're just going to gently spoon it on the top. Now this isn't a precise thing, just enjoy spooning it on. If you make a mess, doesn't matter. Okay, we can wipe up afterwards. This is just all about having fun and enjoying what you're doing and showing off what you've made at the end, which is a brilliant feeling. Okay, so I'm going to very gently pop that on. It's not going to be super neat. I don't do super neat. I do what tastes really good. There we go. So I'm just going to spread it out a little bit. I don't want it to be totally flat on top, because when it cooks and the top bits go a little bit crunchy, I absolutely love that. Shows me it's done. So there, I'm happy with that. So that's my apple crumble. I'm now going to pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how hot your oven runs. Everybody's is slightly different. I'm going to check it after 20. Okay, so I'm going to pop it in the oven. I'm going to pop it on the middle shelf. Okay, not on the top shelf, because what will happen is your crumble will burn and your apple won't be thoroughly cooked underneath. So on the middle shelf for about 20 minutes. Give it a check. If it's done and it's lovely and golden, brilliant, take it out. If it's, you don't think it's quite done and it's not quite golden, it's still a bit pale, leave it another 5 to 10, just keep checking it. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today. I won't keep you on while it cooks, because that's going to be mega boring. Okay, what I will do is I'll post a photo of it after it's cooked. Enjoy, guys, take your time, enjoy the experience, and I hope to see you back again soon. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks, bye.